Hello. I hope you'll pause this video, go put on something cozy, grab your favorite drink, and join me to talk about recent reads. The beverage I've chosen for this chat is a green tea. It's the evening here, so didn't want anything too caffeinated. It's also very cold, so warm beverage was definitely a requirement for me. I have 3 books that I've recently read that I'd like to share. Let's get into the first one. The first book that I've recently read is Anxious People. This was a delightful book to read. So when it comes to Fredrik Backman, I have expectations. I have read a handful of his novels and I've really enjoyed those that I have read. And this one, it did not disappoint. I think it is quite masterful to be able to thread together a story where you have us laughing one moment, but then just, a beat later, there is a heartfelt moment, as well as going from lighthearted topics to topics that are complex. So this kind of weaves that all together. Different people from different backgrounds all end up in one space together for one reason or another, and they bond. So of course, right now, as I'm on my journey to build community both online and in person, of course this book would speak to me. This next novel that I read is not one that is typical for me. It is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I do not generally read romance novels, and I did not seek out looking for a romance novel. I was looking for diversity in both authors and characters, and this book came up in my search. So I decided to give it a try, and it is a lighthearted, often book with some touching moments in it. And I have never read a character like Chloe Brown, so I do appreciate the diversity of characters here. And I think the little blurb on the back about the author, Talia Hibbert, is inspiring. It says she writes sexy, diverse romance because she believes that people of marginalized identities need honest and positive representation. And I just think that's a beautiful thing. The last book that I have read recently is Ionia Iverson's Rules for Commuting. This was another book that I came across while looking for diversity. And oh boy, does this book have a fair bit of representation. It is a book that has a multitude of characters that come together while, that's right, commuting. And it weaves together their pieces of life that do intertwine because of the fact that they cross each other's paths. The representation of the different backgrounds of the characters here is so great, and it's not all expected either. Again, something that has light moments and some very heavy topics in it as well, but done so in such a way that it's lifting you up. And again, another book where a group of people come together to become one another's community is exactly something that these days I want to read. So that's my quick review, if you will, of these 3 books that I've recently read and enjoyed. If I had to pick one of the 3, either Anxious People, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, or Ionia Iverson's Rules for Commuting, if I had to choose just one to recommend, it would have to be Ionia Iverson's Rules for Commuting. It was such a pleasure to read. Now, I may also be biased because this is the first book I've read in a very long time since issues that I've had with my eyes. But I don't think so. I do think that this is genuinely heartwarming and really, again, keeps your interest because of all the characters, background stories that are woven together and come together so beautifully. That's all I have on these recent reads that I've enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments any books that you've recently read that you also enjoy. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them. I hope you liked this video and will give it a thumbs up. I also hope that you'll join my community by subscribing.